Welcome to the AI podcast at DigitVIEW.
We're continuing our exploration of AI pattern recognition.
Today, we're plunging into something that, well, it really affects every single one of us, every day. Security.
Absolutely, it's everywhere.
Yeah, from, the spam flooding your inbox to these huge global cyber threats, or even misinformation spreading online, it feels like dangers are everywhere.
They are, and the scale is just immense now.
And the problem is, our usual security systems, they feel like they're always playing catch-up, right?
Yeah. Reactive, mostly.
They're built like a fortress designed for a siege they already know about. But what happens when the attackers bring something totally new?
Exactly. Those systems are based on known rules, known threats.
And they just get swamped by the sheer amount, the complexity, the speed of modern threats. We're talking global cyber warfare down to tiny biological attacks.
And those zero-day threats.
Right. The vulnerabilities nobody's seen before, they leave us wide open. Okay, so let's unpack this idea we're diving into. Imagine security that isn't just reacting, but actually anticipating, predicting attacks before they happen.
It sounds futuristic, doesn't it?
It really does. But that's what we're exploring today, this idea of total security, powered by defense AI and protection AI.
And the really key piece, dynamic vulnerability AI, or DVA.
DVAI, okay.
Yeah. And what's so different here, what's really transformative, is the shift. We're moving away from just recognizing known signatures, known bad guys, to actually predicting harmful danger by spotting vulnerabilities first.
So it's not just faster analysis of stuff we already know.
Not at all. It's about seeing deeper, understanding these hidden patterns of security, across everything, from our phones right up to global systems.
So our mission today is basically to give you a shortcut, right? Get you up to speed on this huge shift.
Yeah, how AI makes this proactive security actually work.
What it looks like in your life, why humans are still completely essential.
Critically important.
And of course, the big ethical questions that pop up when AI becomes our main shield.
It raises a lot of questions.
Definitely. Okay, so first things first. How does AI actually do this? How does it see these hidden patterns, the ones we humans tend to miss?
Well, at its core, it's about AI's incredible ability to spot complex patterns that aren't obvious, in massive amounts of data.
Right.
And then make predictions based on them. It starts with gathering data, lots of it.
Yeah.
Comprehensive, diverse data numbers, text, images.
All sorts.
All sorts. And it needs to be prepped, cleaned up, structured. There's this step called feature engineering.
Feature engineering.
Yeah, basically turning raw data into variables the AI can understand. Like for plagiarism detection, it's not just looking for copy text.
Okay.
It's pulling out patterns in sentence structure, maybe word frequency, even punctuation, subtle things.
Got it. So it preps the data, makes it meaningful, then what?
Then come the algorithms,
Yeah.
pattern recognition engines. They're different kinds.
Like?
Well, you've got statistical methods using math and probability to find hidden rules. Structural methods that look at how data points relate to each other, like in social networks.
Okay.
And then the big one everyone talks about, neural networks.
Inspired by the brain, right.
Exactly. Things like convolutional neural networks, CNNs, for images, or recurrent neural networks, RNNs, for sequential stuff like language or time series data.
So it uses all these different tools.
Right. It blends them. And that's where the power comes from. It lets the AI see a level of complexity, of nuance, that's just beyond what we can typically grasp.
And these detected patterns, that's what allows it to predict things.
Precisely. It learns the patterns, then uses them to classify new data, anticipate potential issues, that ability to spot subtle things, things hidden from us. That's the key to being proactive, not reactive.
That sounds incredibly powerful. But I mean, what about the completely unexpected, the real curveballs, the black swan events? Can AI really anticipate everything?
That's a really critical question. And no, probably not everything. But a huge part of this framework is adaptability, continuous learning.
Okay.
Just like us, the system has to constantly update its understanding as the world changes, as threats evolve.
So it's not static.
Not at all. It uses real-time machine learning, processing data as it streams in, making decisions instantly.
Instantly? Like how fast?
Milliseconds. Think about financial fraud detection.
Oh, okay.
AI can spot a dodgy transaction and block it right as it's happening.
Wow. And building on that constant learning, you mentioned this dynamic self-correction. DVAI's signature move.
Exactly. It was kind of inspired by how we reflect and learn.
Yeah.
You try something, get feedback, adjust your approach.
Right.
AI does this using techniques like reinforcement learning. It gets rewarded for good predictions or actions and learns from its mistakes based on, well, self-generated feedback.
So how does this DVAI loop actually work?
Okay, so first, it builds a baseline of normal.
Normalcy for what? For who?
For individuals, for systems. It pulls in tons of data from everywhere. Your typing speed, where you log in from, maybe eye tracking data from your device, environmental sensors, data from your health tracker, all of it. It creates this unique sort of behavioral fingerprint.
A digital fingerprint.
Oh, yeah. And baselines for how systems usually operate. Then step 2, anomaly detection.
Finding things that stick out.
Right. But it's not just looking for known viruses or malware signatures. It's looking for anything that's just not normal compared to that baseline.
So like my credit card example. A purchase pops up somewhere I never shop.
Precisely. It's not on a fraud list, maybe, but it's way outside your pattern.
Wow.
That's where it first identifies potential harmful danger. Something's off. It might lead to a bad outcome.
Okay, so it spots the anomaly, the potential danger. Then what? Does it just send an alert?
It does more. When it detects that anomaly, that harmful danger, DVAI actually creates a new security pattern on the fly.
A new pattern.
Yeah, a universal one, designed to instantly change the defense, make it harder for whatever caused the anomaly to succeed. Then it issues an alert to defend.
Alert to defend.
Yeah, with clear, actionable instructions. So, back to your example, maybe your social media gets hacked. DVI might suggest you use a totally new, unique way of communicating to prove it's really you next time. A new pattern for verification.
Making it much harder for the attacker.
Exponentially harder for that specific attack vector, yes.
This is amazing stuff. But you mentioned self-correction. How good is AI at realizing it made a mistake, especially in messy, real-world situations?
That's a key limitation right now. While this real-time adaptation is great for clear tasks, like fraud detection,
Yeah.
AI figuring out its own errors in really complex, nuanced situations where there's no obvious right answer, that's still tough.
So it's not perfect at self-critique.
Not yet, especially for open-ended problems. Detecting its own errors is often the bottleneck. So this AI learning loop, it's probably best to think of it as working with humans. Symbiotic, not fully autonomous.
That makes total sense. Human oversight is still crucial.
Which brings up trust, doesn't it? If these systems are learning and changing constantly, how do we make sure we understand what they're doing, especially with those black box models?
Exactly. And that's why explainable AI, XAI, is absolutely vital.
Explainable AI, yeah. Many of the most powerful AI models, particularly deep learning ones, can feel like black boxes. We see the input, we see the output, but the reasoning inside, it's murky.
Not ideal for high-stakes security.
Not at all. If lives or huge amounts of money are on the line, you can't just trust an alert blindly. You need to know why.
So XAI opens the box.
It aims to. It provides explanations in context that humans can understand. Why was this alert triggered? What data led to this conclusion?
And what are the real-world benefits of that, beyond just feeling more comfortable?
Well, first, it boosts accuracy. Think AI security cameras. XAI helps a human analyst tell a real threat from a shadow or a stray cat. We've seen false alarms drop by like 90% in some cases.
Wow, okay.
Second, compliance. Laws like GDPR, the EU AI Act, they demand transparency and audit trails. XAI helps deliver that.
Right, accountability.
And third, it just makes human AI teams work better. If you understand why the AI is suggesting something, you can trust it more, work with it more effectively, maybe even spot when it's wrong.
So XAI for understanding, and you also mentioned integrating humans directly. Human in the loop.
Exactly. HITL architectures. It's about building systems where humans are part of the process, training the AI, evaluating its outputs, intervening when necessary.
Combining AI speed with human smarts.
Precisely. AI speed and pattern matching, human context and judgment. In cybersecurity, maybe an AI flags a million potential threats.
Yeah.
A human analyst then uses their expertise to investigate the few truly critical ones the AI highlights.
Yeah.
Or for responding to an incident, AI might suggest actions, but a human reviews and approves, especially if it's complex or really high stakes.
Because AI lacks, what? Common sense.
Sort of. It lacks creative problem-solving for brand new threats it hasn't seen before. It doesn't grasp the wider context, the geopolitical situation, the business impact. And critically, it can't make ethical judgments or ensure decisions align with our laws and values. That ability for the AI to communicate its reasoning back to us, that's what makes it practical and responsible. It's not just raw intelligence, it's intelligibility.
Okay, so with XAI and humans in the loop, where would we actually see this total security playing out? You said it's not just cyber, it's like layers of protection.
Concentric layers, exactly. Starting with you, personally.
Personal security, the sentinel of the self. Sounds cool. How does that work?
It uses behavioral AI, analyzing your digital self, where you log in from, how fast you type, your spending habits.
This stuff we talked about for baselines?
Right. It looks for anomalies. So your bank flagging a weird transaction isn't just about blacklists. It's because it doesn't fit your profile.
Okay.
Or think about wearables. A personal guardian wearable. It learns your normal physical activity.
Like a fitness tracker, but for safety.
Could be. In a factory, it might detect if a worker forgets safety gear or gets too close to dangerous machinery. Or for health, maybe it spots early signs of diabetes based on subtle changes. Then it helps create a personalized plan.
Wow. Okay, moving out a layer. Cybersecurity.
Yeah, the Cyber Resilience Suite. Here, AI analyzes network traffic, what's happening on computers and devices, identifying threats super fast.
Faster than current systems.
Much faster and more proactively. And remember DVAI. It could dynamically reshape a company's network defenses in real time to block a new type of attack,
Yeah.
constantly shifting the defenses.
Okay, personal, cyber. What about communities?
Community security. The community monitor drone is maybe a bit dramatic, but the idea is AI analyzing collective behavior.
Collective behavior, like what?
Political discussions online, social media trends, news sentiment, looking for patterns that might predict risks like civil unrest or the rapid spread of a dangerous misinformation campaign.
So it could give leaders a heads up.
Potentially, yeah. Spotting early indicators of a crisis from social media chatter or seeing a fake news story starting to go viral and alerting platforms or authorities to address it quickly.
Fascinating. And then planetary scale, economics, environment.
Huge potential there. For economics, AI sifts through millions of data points, markets, news, social trends, consumer spending, looking for faint signals that might predict an economic downturn, or patterns suggesting large-scale fraud.
And the environment.
AI drones monitoring crop health, optimizing irrigation, predicting weather patterns more accurately, analyzing satellite images to track wildlife populations or deforestation, and DVAI, again predicting the harmful danger of a hurricane or earthquake, then generating real-time evacuation or response plans.
And the biggest scale, universal security, national defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
AI is already a big part of military intelligence, analyzing sensor feeds, satellite images, communications, social media for real-time situational awareness.
Logistics too, I imagine.
Absolutely. Optimizing supply chains, predicting when equipment needs maintenance before it breaks down, command and control systems. It's pervasive.
Okay, this is huge. AI touching every level of security. But here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit scary. With AI this powerful, this embedded, even with humans involved, there's got to be major risks, right? Big ethical hurdles.
Absolutely. Huge ones. And we have to talk about. The major risk is bias and discrimination. Well, AI learns from data. If that data reflects existing societal biases, and most large data sets do, unfortunately, the AI can learn those biases.
And amplify them.
Think about facial recognition in surveillance. If the training data mostly showed faces from one demographic, the system might be much worse at identifying people from other groups or might flag them disproportionately.
That's deeply unfair.
It is. It erodes trust and just reinforces existing inequalities. So mitigating this means things like careful bias audits of the data, developing techniques to correct bias, and strong ethical rules around how data is collected and used.
Okay, bias is one thing. What about deliberate misuse?
That's the other side of the coin. The paradox is the same AI that's amazing for defense can also be weaponized for attack.
Oh.
Adversarial attacks. Clever ways to trick the AI, making tiny changes to an image that a human wouldn't notice, but that cause the AI to misclassify it completely.
Like changing a stop sign to look like a speed limit sign to an AI.
Exactly. Or prompt injections, tricking language models like ChatGPT into revealing sensitive information or generating harmful content.
And you can poison the data itself.
Yes, model poisoning.
Yeah.
Slipping malicious examples into the training data so the AI learns the wrong things. Maybe it learns to ignore a certain type of attack or to flag innocent activity as suspicious.
It sounds like an arms race.
It absolutely is. Attackers use AI to make their phishing emails more convincing, create hyper-realistic deepfakes for disinformation, automate vulnerability scanning. And the defenders have to constantly adapt their AI defenses in response.
Which leads to the really profound ethical questions, especially around military use.
This is critical. The sheer efficiency AI brings to military intelligence targeting. It's created this concerning push away from human oversight in some cases.
You mentioned examples.
Yeah, there have been reports, for instance, about AI systems being used to generate huge numbers of potential targets in conflict zones, like Gaza, with internal sources reportedly describing it as a mass assassination factory due to the speed and scale, leading to concerns about civilian casualties.
That's incredibly sobering.
It is. It highlights how the same pattern-finding power can be used for optimization or for lethal force. There's a global response starting 31 nations signed a declaration calling for guardrails, caution, transparency in military AI.
So the ethics have to be front and center.
They must be. For this whole total security idea to be beneficial, the ethical framework, human control, human values, that has to be the primary pattern we master.
Yeah.
The risks aren't just technical bugs, they're deeply societal, deeply moral.
Okay, so massive challenges. But despite them, this AI-driven security is already creating new tools, new solutions, right?
Definitely. We're seeing a whole ecosystem emerge. In cybersecurity, you have platforms like Sentinel-Alone, CrowdStrike using machine learning, large language models for real-time protection on computers. Vectra AI helps cut through the noise of too many alerts.
And in physical security.
Those AI cameras, reducing false alarms, are a big one. But also autonomous robots, drones doing surveillance, patrolling large areas, helping in disasters, scanning rubble for survivors, spotting unattended bags in airports.
And all this changes the job market, doesn't it?
Profoundly. Yes, AI automates repetitive tasks, we know that. But it's also creating entirely new jobs, jobs focused on collaborating with AI.
What kinds of jobs are safer from automation?
The ones that rely heavily on things AI isn't good at. Empathy, complex ethical reasoning, creativity, deep human judgment.
So what are some of these new roles?
You'll have AI security engineers designing, building, securing these AI systems. Needs analytical skills, serious attention to detail.
Okay.
AI threat analysts using the AI tools, interpreting the outputs, figuring out how to respond. Requires critical thinking, good communication.
Makes sense.
AI ethicists and governance specialists, the ones doing bias audits, ensuring compliance, setting ethical guidelines, needs ethical grounding, empathy, legal savvy.
And specific to this new framework.
Maybe a DVAI pattern architect designing the algorithms for those dynamic defensive patterns we talked about. Needs data science chops and ethical foresight. Or an AI vulnerability hunter proactively trying to break the system to find its weaknesses before attackers do.
So looking at all this, the future isn't really AI taking over from humans, is it?
Not at all.
It sounds much more like humans and AI working together, co-creating security.
That's exactly the picture.
So to wrap up then, we've explored total security, DVAI, this big shift towards proactive defense. It seems necessary, given the threats we face.
It feels like an inevitable direction, yes, moving away from just reacting.
But it only really works, only becomes achievable and desirable through that human-AI collaboration we keep coming back to.
Built on transparency, trust.
And strong ethical rules.
Yeah.
Governance.
Absolutely. Ultimately, this future isn't about choosing humans or machines. It's a blueprint for a symbiosis.
Okay.
AI gives us the power to see patterns, predict danger, create defenses against harmful danger on a scale we couldn't before.
Yeah.
But it's humans who have to provide the moral compass, the creative spark for truly novel problems, the final judgment call on whether and how to defend.
So as we build these incredibly intelligent defenses, maybe the final thought for everyone listening is, what does this actually mean for how we define security itself when the protector and the protected are locked in this constant dynamic dance of co-creation?
A profound question to ponder.
Thank you for joining us for this broadcast.
Searching for answers to unanswered questions.
This is DigitView.